How's this for a contrast? Went from being 38 degrees, well, it was also 31 degrees a couple of days ago. It's 12. I see. I think it might have warmed up to about 13. I don't mind. I don't mind, because I've been fencing. So, what are we looking at today, Piper Doug? A whole bunch of very excited ladies, that's what you're looking at. Yeah. So, they're about to come out here. We always make sure they're out on grass by Canada Day, which is July 1st. We were trying to hold off on letting them out here because the ground is still way soft. But we can't wait any longer, and it's actually fairly good right now. There is some spots where there's water out there, but there's nothing we can do about that. We won't let them out right away. Yeah, we got some breakout gangs. All you cattle guys know about that. These little critters. I'm going to feed them silage, because I never like letting them out onto grass when they're hungry, and you'll all know why, because they'll bloat. The majority of this is grass, but that's alfalfa. You can see the flowers are just starting to come onto the alfalfa, so we're about a week to 10 days away from cutting hay, first cutting of hay. Still not sure whether we're haying that quarter or silaging it. You'll be the first to know. So yeah, they'll be in here for probably the better part of a month. So we used to do it paddock, and we found there really is no point. So they have 2.5 paddocks, because there's a half paddock at the far end. They get this whole lot. The herd's not as big as it was last year, because there's a few still in there, and there's a bunch going cull. So they'll be in here for quite a while. And then there's another 4 paddocks this way, so we'll get 2. We'll shut them out of this one, we'll give them the next 2. That'll let this one recover. And then they'll go to the next one and shut them out of that. So yeah, and then they'll just work their way away, and this will start growing behind them. So yeah, that's rotational grazing, and it's also regenerative grazing. Because we don't do mob grazing, we don't do fast grazing, we leave them in here for a little while so that they poo and pee and trample it in, and it really brings the plants back. It's about to start raining, and I've blabbed on long enough. I'm going to go and do the silage, and then we'll bring you back after supper, because I'm not allowed to let the animals out when my family's not here, because they love to watch this. Plus, we'll film it, because we did it last year, the herd stampede. Everybody loves to see that. Okay, better get going. Come on! The calves are disappearing. what? They've just realized there's another paddock. Not really sure where they're going. There's Bird. No. They'll be happy in there. Things you just happen to see driving along our roads. 59 Cadillac Coupe de Ville convertible. That's a lot of chrome. Hello. So, my next, well, it's part of the next project as we're getting ready for haying season. Just called up to the local mazers to price out parts because there's these things that had worn out on the turtles on the old discbines there. So, this is what has happened. They're wearing it. So, they should look like that, except maybe a little higher, maybe about a 1/4 inch I think is where they're supposed to be. So yeah, they're in pairs. I think it's like this, because they go in the same direction, or on either side of the turtle. So, pop quiz to everybody out there in YouTube land. What do you think that's worth? You get 1 bolt with each, because the other one have these for the blades. So, pop quiz. What do you all think that's worth? $190. $190 for scale. It's hollow, doesn't weigh much, it's cast, so there's no welding or anything. You drill a couple of holes in it and call her done. Yeah, so they're about 90. Yeah, I almost said what I'm wanting to say. $95 a piece. Oh my gosh. Oh. Needless to say, I think I'm going to get creative. So what am I going to crack out the old plasma torch and make myself up some plates and hot glue gun some plates on the top of those. $190 a pair. There's 10 pair. That's almost $2,000. 2,000 schnackels. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Update. The big blue baling tractor. They've got her fixed. She's running like a top. The flywheel and the pressure plate for the torque converter schmeckety schmoo. Yeah, it was all cracked and the springs were busted out of it. I think I showed a picture. If I didn't, I'll stick it in here. But anyway, she's moving. They've got all the little things all buttoned up. They are waiting on the alternator regulator. It needs a new one of those. And I think they're waiting on also a brake servo. I think there's two in the back, and they said one of them was jiggered, and that's why it's never been able to keep a brake pedal, even though they've tried like twice in the last 5 years and charged us for it. But they now, because they were in there, they figured out, oh, one of the servos is jiggered. Anyway, so that'll be back next week. That is going to get its new AC pump, which is sitting right there. It's going to get the new AC pump. So when I take it over to Jody's Welding, I think I'll stick a little advert in here. Going to see Dennis, the mighty Dennis Mighty Hands Hemrika. Going to see Dennis over there, and he said he wants to take a crack at old Big Dog there, my 7.3. I kind of know what's wrong with it. I do not have time, and at this point, I need someone who knows what they're doing, and Dennis knows what he's doing. Mighty Dennis. Everybody say hi, Mighty Dennis. So he's going to have a crack at Big Dog and get him back up and running for me. Well, I'm still waiting for the dually. Ugh. That's a whole other story. Anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at. You're going like, whoa, Piper Doug, why aren't you going cutting your hay, boy? Well, we've got a couple of more days of this, which is lovely. And then we have about 7 or 8 straight days of rain. Yeah. Because we need that. So, I'm going to get on. Island poop. Well, happy Canada Day. For all those who are not in the know, July 1st is Canada Day here in old Canuckistan. Right now, I'm the only one at home because Mrs. Piper Doug and my daughter Christina, the one that just graduated from high school, they are out in Ontario dropping off Liam, the skid steer wonder boy, dropping him off at university so he can do his 4th and 5th year of post-secondary. That big brain of his. And what am I doing? It's one of these jobs that it kind of has to get done. It kind of looks hot. It's not terribly hot. It's only about 24, 25 or something like that. Don't let that sound fool you. There's no breeze in here. Yeah, awesome. But I have to do this. I have to clean all the old silage up before we do the grading and landscaping to get this all flattened back out. Because depending on what we get to this year, because there is a whole bunch of metal work getting done to the feed rail for the headlocks, but there's actually also metal work going along the bottom to replace having wood here. So whether we get to that or not, I don't know. Because one of the more pressing issues, and it's been sidetracked and kind of picked away at, is this. This back road, as you will have seen in previous videos, works great through the winter. As soon as spring comes and the water starts dripping out of the pans and because there is a drain up there, and you can see where we have dropped shale, but it just punches out. So we've got to scoop this all out and put down some sort of an underlay, and then build it up with shale, a lot of shale. We'll be bringing in a lot of shale this year because that faraway pen needs built up, and then this road needs fixed, amongst other stuff. So depending how far we get to with that, this whole feedway is going to get raised up about another foot. That way that the ground is up higher than where the cows are standing, so they're not reaching down through the cables as much. Plus, once we do that, then it's harder for the little calves to climb out through the feed rail and take off. But trying to show you this, that little girl right there, she's actually one of the chosen ones. She's a daughter of Squirts. I think her name is Sparkles. I think Liam named her. She's kind of stomping right now, you might notice. What you can't see is the other side of her is covered in poop. I was out this morning, checked everybody was fine. And then I come out here and I started shoveling, and I just happened to see this little head pop up over the boards because I'm working over here and didn't notice. I don't know if she would just laid down there and then she over-centered, and I don't know if she'd fell like over-centered while she was sleeping, and then she could not get up. Like, she's getting better. Like, I grabbed her by her nostrils, as my dad, Big Davey, taught me. Grabbed her by her nostrils and pulled her head round to her shoulder, and then got my knees in behind her neck, and then just sort of rolled her and nudged her, and then finally she kind of pulled her knees back round and up she popped. She got up fine, but she's hurting. She's very wobbly. And we lost a star in-cab heifer a few years back, the back of that pen, where she had got laid down and she fell into sort of a hollow, sort of a nest in the bedding, and she died. Like, the blood pulled up around her heart, and yeah, she died. I'd never heard of them. I don't know what it's called, but they basically drown in their own chest cavity. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. She's just off, and it's a blinking hot day, so I'm hoping. She did get some water. She's already been for some water and took a little bit on. So I'm hoping she's going to kind of go and find some shade and just lay down in a proper place. And see, the other girls are being pretty nice to her. Don't jump on her, don't you dare. I wonder if that's what happened. One of the other heifers jumped on her, or Big Jury there, maybe he jumped on her and knocked her over. But she seems to be walking okay, so it's not something in her frame, but you see her legs shake a little bit there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on her. Anyway, so yeah, that was a bit of a save, because it doesn't take long for them to die. Yeah. Those people are all like, oh, beef farmers don't care about their animals, they're just in for the mighty dollar. Yeah. This is the stuff you don't see, people. Don't jump on her. Honestly. Honey, I'm gonna get back to this before I bake my bazookles, and still waiting for a couple more cows to calve in this pen here. They're due to go this week, so let's get on. How are you now? Good news. Oh. Return victim. Just had this in, took the deck off, cleaned all the crud from underneath. Shocker, sharpened the blades, did all that good stuff. So, back to our previous conversation. What have we got? Well, so this is the problem we have to solve. Wore out on the top. Down here is not so bad. It has wore here, but I just need it to be a ramp. So I just needed some good steel that would be enough to sit up on there and then weld the ever-loving holy heck out of it. Now those astute will know what these are. So here's the remnants. I bet you Straight Pipe Acres would know what these are, because he's probably seen these before. Some of you will. These are scrapers off of a Morris Maxim 1 seed drill. We got these in '97, and they were on for 1 season, and we chucked them in a corner of a shed because they were absolute garbage. All they did was gum up the packers and lock all the packers up, versus just riding the packers out until they would clear. These things would just lock them. So, like I said, they just bolted onto the frame right over the packers, and they were supposed to keep them whistly clean. No, they didn't. So, grabbed these when we were leaving the other farm, threw them all in a big bucket. Figured I could use them for something. Something just showed up. So, I needed the steel. So basically all I do is I clamp a template that I've made up of this, because I have 10 this way, and then I have 10 this way. So, and I'm cheap. So I made a little 1/4-inch plywood template for that, and then I just soak it in water. And yes, I know the place is a mess. I'm getting to it. I'm finally using my plasma cutter. Finally! Yay! Paid for by recycling e-waste, I might add. Yeah, pretty proud of that. So yeah, learning as I go. Learning, trying not to blast myself with molten metal. But I think they're turning out pretty good. As you can see, the pieces are coming off in fairly good shape. I've watched enough videos on how you point the flame away from, or the jet away from the work and eat your way in. So yeah, I'm gonna knock out the last 5 of this side. I know you could flip them over this way, but there is actually a reason. See if I can show you this. This one's good. This is why. See how it's cut at an angle? Because when I'm chewing into it, and I've got on this bend here, so what will actually end up happening is that angle will sit up off of here, helping throw stuff up and away, because these help push the product up and into the crimpers. So a little bit more aggressive a ramp, all good. So I'll knock the last 5 out, and then we'll get to welding. So this plus this equals this. Don't gotta be pretty, just gotta work. Where did it all go? Anyway, they're done and did. They're not the prettiest, but it'll probably get us a few more years out of these suckers. So yeah, plasmid and welded them all up yesterday, last night. Finished about 11 o'clock last night. And yeah, been up since 4:45 this morning. Why's that, Piper Doug? Because Piper Doug's a dummy. Because I have a little mask I use when I'm doing small jobs. And then when I was doing the plasma cutting, I was, because it's such a fiddly job, I was kind of working away with my little piece of lens that I use. most of the time trying to make sure that I was behind the torch and not having the flame or the jet right in front of my eyes. Yeah, it was dumb. Yeah, you can all light me up in the comment section. So yeah, everybody who knows what welder flash is, I did not know you could get that from a plasma cutter too. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. Lesson learned, never do that again. Yeah, I never even occurred to me that a plasma cutter was as bad as a welder. Like I said, I was making sure for most of the big cuts to just use a lens or be behind the torch, but wasn't enough. And I now know that, and yes, it will never happen again. So you, like I said, get out of your system, y'all. Let me know. My eyes are very important. You only have one pair. Unless you're rich and you can have a black market company steal eyes off of poor people or something. Don't do that. Anyway, so yeah. So I finally felt fine enough to come out here and fire up the old grinder. And yes, glasses. Fire up the old grinder and take all of the jaggedy, catchy edges off of this, because we don't need any excuse for grass and stuff to wrap on these. So yeah, kind of keen to put all this back together. Is that all the turtles are there? Turtles. Caps are there. The only issue I have is this. So I'll need to go and get a set of bolts. Drop that. But apparently, bright sunshine out there. Apparently that's not going to last. Apparently there's rain heading this way. It's supposed to show up later tonight, and it's supposed to be here for a damn week. Hey, it's pretty well ready to cut. But as everybody knows, it dries a heck of a lot faster if it's still standing and growing than it does if it's laying in a swath rotting. So yeah. So the next video that's going to be coming up is going to be a bit of a boasting video. It's like I might have said in the video, I'm not sure if I'm doing it in this one or not. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm tired. Anyway, so yeah, there's going to be a video, and it's all about my family. Like I said, Christina just graduated high school very well, and Liam has started his orientation already today, Saturday, the day after Canada Day, at university out at Thunder Bay Lake Head University, whatever it's called. So yeah, proud of them. So if you don't see me again, make sure to subscribe, and taddy bye.